I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you.
All
I
right.
saw you come out with that rant, and I didn't want to have a public response to it. I called you in private, right?
I know.
And I
Call me in private.
told
Yeah.
you, told
Mm-hmm.
you you were way too scared, way too concerned about this 76er team. Granted, it's one game.
Yes. It's one
One
game.
game.
It's one game. They were tired.
Knicks didn't
Sixers were
stink.
coming off time. Okay. Well, did
I'm
we?
just gonna say it straight away. In case anybody was wondering what I was thinking of this series, Knicks in six. I
So
told
you think it'll
you,
go the same way the Hawks series went six? But that
yeah.
one, I was a lot more scared of that series in a way because of how the Knicks lost two games in a row by 1 point, and that could easily have been the difference of winning and losing the series.
Well, this is the playoffs, John. I mean, not everything is gonna be you know, 20-point wins, although it's nice to see the progression of the team from 24 to 26 and to see
Yeah.
that some of these wins that we're getting are not just, you know, eke them out by the skin of your teeth type one
You
point wins.
you were killing OG Ananobi. You were
Yes, I
killing the
was.
Knicks for signing
Mm-hmm.
OG and why they kept him and got rid of the previous
Yep.
weight. And then, of
Yep.
course, the Mikal Bridges, 5 picks. I know everybody's been talking
Yes.
about it over and over.
Yeah. I'm still not wrong on
And
that.
look at the Bridges we're seeing over the last 3 games.
Well,
Bridges has finally woken up. Bridges now
this
is
is
doing the scoring he's needed to do. Doesn't have to be
this is
20.
supposedly this is supposedly when everybody keeps telling me that this is why you traded the five draft picks. It what didn't matter what he did in the regular year, matters what he does in the postseason, right?
Yes, of course, of course.
Well, if this is the Bridges I'm getting in the postseason, I guess we're gonna have to file Mikal Bridges under the same category that we file Giancarlo Stanton in. Wait till the postseason. Wait till
Yeah.
May and June. I
Well,
guess
wait.
is that
Yeah.
what we have to do?
Wait till the playoffs is about the good mantra that a lot of the Knicks have been saying. You want to be, and I even could tell you this: the Knicks, by the way, picked up a huge win today, blowing the Sixers away, 137-98. This is the third consecutive playoff game, and it's never been done in history. The Knicks are the first to do this to win 3 playoff games by plus 25 points or more
First time in NBA
ever.
history that a team has won two
Three,
playoff games in a row by 30 points
yeah,
or more.
yeah, but we're looking at 3 in a row doing this by over 25. That's insane. No team
Can
has done
we
that.
can we make it four?
Well, we'll
Can
find that
four
out.
happen?
Well, game 2 is going to be Wednesday night. We'll get our answer on Wednesday for game number 2. So
We will.
from here on, at least for at least this round, and this is for all teams in the semifinals.
Oh yeah.
Every other day they'll be playing. Not every 2 days. It's every other day,
Yep.
except between game 6 and 7. That's when the only time there will be an extra day off.
And better news for the Knicks, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mitchell Robinson only played about what 12
Yeah,
minutes this
he did
game.
pick. Yeah, there was partly because he had 4 fouls, but he got out of the game fine. No craziness happened between him and Embiid, which I'm more than happy with. I know everybody's been talking about it. Embiid, we never forgot when Embiid injured Mitch 2 years ago. People haven't forgotten when him and Towns got into a tussle back 7 years ago or so when Towns was still a Timberwolf.
Look,
People like to
I
carry
don't.
those receipts. People like to carry that for years and years and go, oh, yeah, this is going to have spice to it. People want to fight. People want these teams to hurt and kill each other. And
Well, Joel Embiid actually, he's one of those types of players that holds those receipts. And if
mm-hmm.
I were Joel Embiid,
Yep.
I have a suggestion.
Yep.
I would try my best to not do what you did the second Mitchell Robinson got into the game
Hack a Mitch.
in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I would not be the one participating in hack a Mitch.
Yeah.
Because if you hack a Mitch,
Yeah. You pick up
Mitch is
fouls.
going to hack you
Mm.
right in
Yeah.
your appendicitis scar.
Mm. Well, Embiid only had one foul for the whole game. So, and I think, you've seen his knees are pretty beat up. He's been playing with bad knees. He's been playing with the appendectomy. He's had about every injury under the rainbow. Now, I do have to give him his respect that he's been able to still fight right through that and still keep playing and still
I'll
play at the
agree.
level he's been playing. There's always
Yes,
been that debate. And the debate we've been talking about, Towns and Embiid. Towns, the best scoring big man in the NBA.
it is Towns. I think we
Even though
have
Embiid is about the best inside shooter in the NBA for a big man and a very
look,
athletic big man he is.
I'm going to tell you something. Carl Anthony Towns has pulled away. Over the past 2 seasons, he's pulled away from Embiid. And I don't care what anybody around the league has to say. I don't care what Carl Anthony Towns haters have to say. Carl Anthony Towns has pulled away from Joel Embiid, and tonight proved it. Like literally, Carl Anthony Towns took the entire fourth quarter off. He spent three quarters, 17, 6, and 6, and he wasn't needed for anything else.
Yeah.
But
Brunson
anytime,
yeah.
by the way, anytime Philly was about to start to come back and about to start to try to make a run, Carl Anthony Towns dishing it out to Anunoby for three. Carl Anthony Towns dishing it to a driving Clarkson. Carl Anthony Towns dishing and dishing and dishing. But all that got started because Jalen Brunson went out and scored, I think, the first 10 of the first 19 Knick points.
Yeah. Well, Brunson also led a lot of the way early, too. The first half,
Yeah.
Brunson had 27 points in the first half.
That's
and the
right.
Knicks were up 23 at that point.
Yep.
It's good when the Knicks are moving the ball around, and this is what the Knicks are always capable of. One of the things I was seeing a lot of, and this is what was really good with me, is how the Knicks always kept rotating around with setup and screens and setting up different rotations. Okay, so Karl Anthony Towns will be the facilitator. Okay, you see Bridges down there. Then you see Alvarado come over a pick, set up under the paint, and Towns can whip a pass straight. That's one of the things Towns does well. Is he can pass the ball extremely well for a guy his size.
That is actually Karl Anthony Towns' best skill. And for the life of me, no one who has ever coached him, including Tom Thibodeau, has ever figured out that Karl Anthony Towns is a facilitator from down low. We have now finally unlocked the new level of cat.
Well, you can credit Mike Brown for that. You can credit that to Mike Brown.
He has transformed into Super Kitty. Super Kitty passes the ball from down low.
Well, how about Cats just become a lion? How about just Cats become a lion?
No.
Yeah.
Super Kitty bats the yarn out to all of his teammates. He's going to bat the ball of yarn out to all of his teammates. And then when he gets feisty himself, he's going to swat that ball of yarn right into that hoop.
Good. Well, that's the Towns we want to see. That's the Cat the whole world, the whole Knick Nation's been wanting to see this entire season.
This entire time he's been a Knick.
Yeah. Well, it's only been 2 years. It's only been 2 years. He's only been here for a couple of years. Yeah.
Well, no, this is year 3.
Yeah, 3. A couple of years. 3 years now. It's only about 3 now.
This is, and I've been saying this ever since he got here, this is the team that Leon Rose envisioned. It wasn't Brunson being the point and the focal center of everything. It was Karl Anthony Towns being the focal center of everything and Brunson being the number 2 moving off the ball. Now, no one could have predicted that Jalen Brunson was going to have the meteoric rise that he had.
Well, he
was
working
does not mean you move off the plan. The plan and the build of the team was that Towns facilitates. Just because Towns is the main focus, ball holder, and facilitator of basketball, that doesn't necessarily mean that Jalen Brunson isn't your best player. You just then evolve Brunson into the Jordan role, the Kobe role.
Yeah.
And let him work off ball.
Well, it took time for Brunson to get comfortable in that role.
Without the basketball.
That took time for Brunson to even get used to that role. And maybe just maybe when Rick Brunson finally lit into him, maybe that.
Why?
Well, because,
Why would that? Stop for 3 seconds.
People
Why? He
complain.
had that role. He had that role in Dallas.
In Dallas, yeah, but then you have to come over to a team. Now he comes over to the Knicks. Everybody was looking at him. Oh, Brunson's the top guy. He just has to play ISO ball. He doesn't have to pass the ball to anybody. Brunson could do it all himself.
No, if there was a player on that team that is qualified to play ISO ball, it's Super Kitty.
Hmm.
He's not Cat. He's not Carl Anthony Town. He's Super Kitty now. I now dub him Super Kitty.
Super Kitty, cute, cute. Well, the point of the matter is, look, maybe when Rick Brunson got into it with Jalen, something changed. It's because it's obvious. That was the game 4 when the Knicks started to blow the teams away. That's when they started to turn that series around against Atlanta. Something clicked with this Knicks team after losing game 3. I said it in my rant last week.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I said, okay, look, it was a couple games. I wasn't sure if maybe that was just a little precursor. And then I saw the Knicks blow the Hawks away in game 6.
I'll tell you what clicked.
I was stunned. They were up 60 points at one point.
I'll tell you what fucking clicked. Ready?
Okay.
Want to know what clicked? Here's what it is. Here's what clicked.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got them our episode of Downtown Sports, put it in front of them, and they said, wow, this guy Mouth, he's screaming about they constructed the team to run through Towns. Mike Brown must have heard it and said, wow, maybe I haven't thought of that. Maybe we should try that out. They went to practice. They put it out there. Because you remember our last episode, they were down 2-1.
Yeah, that was after they lost the 2 tough games. Yes, 2 1-point losses, which easily could have been the difference in winning or losing that series. Because people would have looked back and go, that's why they lost series because of that. They lost series because of this game and this game. And everybody was
what
counting.
Was the big message that I had for the Knicks, John?
They have to start using Towns and have him facilitate. Stop running it through with ISO ball with Brunson. Towns is your best weapon against Atlanta. They have no height to match him.
Let him play point 4. Isn't that what I said? Let him be a point 4?
The offense needed to move through Towns. That's what you also were hinting at, too. The offense had to move through Karl Anthony Towns. And finally, over those last 3 games, finally the message got through. Finally. Okay. And it looks like, did we have to really do it today against Philly? Yeah, we kind of did, but, everything was kind of clicking tonight.
So it really had to come out. But, Jalen Brunson had to come out and remind the world, hey, I'm still here.
The Sixers did a lot of talking going into this series, all right? The Sixers already know. And look, credit them for coming back and eliminating Boston. That was huge. Coming back from 3-1, not many teams can say they've done that before, okay?
That's right.
Great.
That's
happy
right.
for Philly.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
I'm happy. But you know what? There's a lot of teams that talk.
Tyrese Maxey was running his mouth. Yep, Embiid was running his mouth.
They talk. And there are those that talk about it. And then there are those that be about it. I've said it for 15 years, running this program through radio, through podcasts, and now on YouTube, on 23 other different platforms as well. By the way, as we wrap this up, this rant and all other rants are brought to you by Digital Market Battles, the only ad agency that'll fulfill your company's pipeline with high-valued leads. They'll get your conversion goals accomplished no matter what. www.digitalmarketbattles.com.
Streaming on AI as well.
Done today.
And on
they
AI.
Offer AI services as well.
Well,
call McBattle.
I'll tell you what, we had another little surprise today. Well, it looks like maybe the Towns and Randall trade benefited both teams because the Timberwolves just took game 1, 104-102, a late rally by the Spurs, but the Timberwolves held on to take game 1. And here was the key for this one. And, when you hold Victor Wembanyama to 11 points, and when you hold both him and Fox to 0 for 12 from downtown.
Wow.
Yeah. Both of them combined to hit no threes in this game. And that's
Unreal.
surprising. Yeah. Give credit. The Timberwolves have been playing this very scrappy brand of defense. They've been doing it throughout this entire first round when they took out Denver. A lot of people thought, how the heck did they do it without Edwards, without DiVincenzo? But, maybe was this what Minnesota really could have done this whole time, that maybe they just were struggling to unlock, just like the Knicks were kind of struggling to find out who they were going into this round.
You know what? And guess what? Good old boy Julius Randle.
Yeah.
As much as I miss him, I'm happy with what we got back in return.
Yeah, listen, I mean...
And wouldn't it be funny
if these two teams matched up in the finals?
That would just be the biggest, most hilarious kick in my New York Knickerbocker fan. You know what?
If they both get to the finals, it will tell me both teams won the trade. Because the two players you didn't think would get to the finals, that everybody thought and killed the Knicks when they had Randall, when they had Towns, when they didn't have him, everybody was killing these guys, saying they would never make a final. Ever.
And they killed both organizations for making this trade. They said both teams were stupid for this trade. They said this was the most useless trade in the history of trades. And look at both teams now.
Yeah. Well, bringing in Towns helped Brunson, and bringing in Randall helped Anthony Edwards. So they both have fed off both of these two big men, in a sense. And both of them have kind of unlocked each other's maybe lack of what they were missing playing on their own.
Yep.
It's all in reality here. And we'll see.
And
now we'll see if this carries on.
And now Julius Randle is the guy in Minnesota. He has to be.
Because today he has to, because Anthony Edwards came back. He played today. Anthony Edwards made his return.
He's hurt.
Right. He came off the bench, and he came off the bench, and he still gave you solid minutes. He came off the bench, got you 18 points, 25 minutes.
Yeah, he did. You're very lucky that Anthony Edwards will run. He's like Amon-Ra St. Brown. He'll run himself out there with like separated ligaments, broken bones.
And Joel Embiid does that.
Yes, he does.
Joel Embiid does that. So there you go.
Yes, he does.
People were killing. Why did Jason
does it to the detriment of his team? That's the problem with Joel Embiid, though.
Oh, because people were probably, some Boston Celtic fans were obviously killing. Oh, why did Jason Tatum? Why did he not play Game 7? How could he sit that game out? He had a little knee soreness and whatnot. Knowing it's a Game 7, your season's on the line.
Because Boston understands what the word dynasty means. And they're not going to risk the dynasty to win one series to run into a buzzsaw.
If they were going to have a dynasty, they would have won 3 consecutive NBA titles. The Knicks took them out last year. This time the Sixers took them out, who had never beaten the Celtics in a playoff series, by the way, if you're the Sixers.
The Celtics weren't even supposed to make the postseason this year. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning of the year, the Celtics weren't even supposed to be here.
But yet here they were, and yet here was Jaylen Brown willing them on, and then Tatum came back, and Tatum was back to the Tatum to some degree that we have seen.
I told you, if Tatum was 80%, they were not winning against the Sixers.
Okay.
He was 85%.
And Joel Embiid was playing probably about 60. Joel Embiid was barely playing about 60 to 70% in that series. And he was just weeks removed from an appendectomy. I had this little fight with Chris literally on this same point. I had to tell him, hey, appendectomy takes a few weeks. ACL takes a year. Coming back from an ACL is a year. So you put an appendectomy versus an ACL and you tell me who wins.
Yeah, appendectomy.
But still, I mean, combine that with all the knee injuries as well.
Imagine you snap a rubber band. You're literally like tying a rubber band together, welding it, and hoping to God it still sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty much what but you're pretty much taking like the human being version of like, glue stick.
Mm-hmm.
gluing the ACL together back together
Yes.
and hoping it still works.
Well, somehow, well, the
The
reality of which
ACL is
is,
like a gigantic rubber band,
well, the reality of it is this.
except it's your freaking leg.
Well, here's the reality of it. The Celtics now, because of their over reliance on the three ball and probably a little bit of arrogance thinking they, could always win by just hitting the three ball. Now they're going to have to
Yeah.
think of long and hard about what they did and why the heck they're home. Maybe Jaylen Brown should stop blaming, well, Joel Embiid flops too much. This is the NBA today, guys. Flop, flop,
You
get
know
free
what?
calls and blah, blah, blah.
I want everybody around the league to take a good look. All of these teams that do all of this talking, do you know what happens after you open your mouth? The Rockets did a whole lot of talking. The Celtics did a whole lot of talking. Philly has been doing a whole lot of talking.
Well, the Rockets had good
Um,
reason to run their mouth to a sense because Luka and Reeves for well, Reeves, especially Reeves, he didn't play until about game 5 or 6 of the
Old
series.
man Bronny,
And if
he
only,
don't say nothing. He just kills
and if you look at that
teams.
one, if you look at obviously the overtime game is what killed the Rockets. I mean, you blow a lead with a 6 point lead with 25 seconds. They'd won that game, they'd probably win the series.
But we are gonna nix that talk for right now
Yeah, we will. We
because
will.
we have to end this little rant
Yes.
and we have to set up what we're going to be doing on this podcast for the
Tomorrow,
rest of the
yes.
week.
Tomorrow we will be
Tomorrow,
joined. We will be joined by Mr. Rob Simmons of the Professional Fanatics podcast. He will join us with 10 of the potential rookies from this NFL draft class and their fantasy value that they will bring to the table this coming football season.
yeah, I didn't get that list.
No, I got it. I know you don't. I don't. I guess they don't like you. I guess he doesn't like you because he gives every time I get the top tens, I get him. The 10 people, I get him. Of course, I will not tell you who the 10 players on this list are. I'm not going to
Oh
give that
no.
away. Oh, definitely
Oh
not.
God.
No, 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 no.
Oh no.
But I
This
definitely
means
could
I'm gonna.
see.
This means I'm gonna have a stroke from this,
Oh, come
right?
on. You can rest very easy tonight. Look, I assure
Sure.
you of what I've seen, I could definitely see a good number of these 10 that are going to have a very, very impactful season in the NFL this year. I think no doubt about it. There's going to be a lot of change. The landscape, we've already seen the landscape change in the AFC and the NFC so far. So this is an opportunity for a lot of teams that were maybe on the outside looking in that are finally going to get their opportunity. Packers, by the way, they got Tyrod Taylor now. So he's going to back up Jordan Love. All right. So that's a good little move for them. As
There
far
you
as the
go.
NBA, the Mavericks have a new man in charge to replace Nico Harrison. Welcome in Masai Ujiri, who turned the Raptors around. Now he's going to turn the Mavericks around. And the
Well,
Mavericks have a good core to build on right now.
that's if the owner allows them to.
Oh, come on. They're going to build their team around Cooper Flag. It's evident. Cooper Flag is the future of this team. And now you just need a few pieces here that you can feed off of Flag to make him the impact player that he could become. Because I did see
If
it.
the owner allows them to.
The owner's going to look. I know Mark Cuban is not
They
the
want
head
to
honcho
bankrupt.
anymore.
They want to bankrupt the team so they can move it to Vegas.
They will never do that. That's never going to
Are you
happen in
sure?
Dallas. Now, this is Dallas.
Are you sure?
You saw how the Maverick fans came out when it came to Nico, when it came to when they got rid of Luka. The
Yes.
outrage was evident. And then of course the
And
NBA draft.
what makes you think that lady wants to stay in that city with all those angry people?
Well, the only reason that they're not running out of the city is because hey, the Mavericks won the draft lottery and they were able to take Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
And he ended up outperforming Con Kneppel and won the Rookie of the Year this year.
So what team do you think goes to Vegas from the NBA?
I could see Washington.
Maybe Toronto.
I don't think Toronto. No. We the North
Memphis,
Toronto's already won a title, and you could see when you watch the Raptors games, and I saw it during the 7 game series with Cleveland. Those fans were electric in Jurassic Park.
Drake,
Okay,
and
not just
Drake.
Drake. When Canada has sports fans, it's always a great thing. Canada,
Yeah, I
they're
agree.
two peas in a
But
pod. Canada
Drake,
and to New York are
but
like the
here's the
same.
thing: Drake will buy the team and keep it there if
Oh,
he
I'm sure
has
he
to.
will. I'm sure he will. No doubt about it.
But I
Yeah,
would say Memphis sounds
we'll
like an
see.
idea.
We'll see. But anyways, right now,
Could you imagine John Gunny in Las Vegas?
And Grenady. Yeah, okay. Him
Yes,
and Grenady. But anyway, but
the
back to the
triple threat.
yeah. Well, we'll dive into much more of the NBA in the coming days. Obviously, we'll have
When we
Robson.
have Noah Eagle
Yes.
on Thursday, we're gonna
Yes.
ask him all these questions. We're gonna ask him about Ja, Gunny, Grenady. We're gonna ask him about the NBA playoffs. He's been back and forth. He's called some of the 76ers games in the first round. He's called some of the Knicks games in the first round.
He
He's
called the Knicks
called
game
some.
tonight. He called the Knicks game tonight.
That's right. I heard the
So,
radio cast because I was driving home. John watched Noah. So
no.
I'm sure I'm going to get a nice little replay of what happened last year. I'm sure Johnny is going to, you know, poke the bear with young Bird Eagle and be like, well, you know, since John pointed out that, you know, since Mouth pointed out last year that I watched Mike Green's broadcast instead of your dad's of round one, I'm going to point out that Mouth was listening to the radio broadcast instead of watching your broadcast on Peacock.
Good. A little revenge. I've been wanting a revenge for this for quite some
I
time.
know. I know it's coming, Beast. I know it's coming.
Oh, and
Don't
you're going to get
worry.
every bit of that. You're going to get every bit of that on Thursday. When Noah
Bring it
Eagle
on.
joins us at 10 a.m. on Thursday, we will have the young bird, Noah Eagle, here with us
Young
to
Bird
discuss the
Eagle.
NBA. All right. But for now, that's going to conclude this special rant edition of Downtown Sports. We will have Rob Simmons of the Professional Fanatics podcast on with us tomorrow. You can listen to us on 25 different platforms. We are on Spotify. We're on Spotify for creators. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Castbox, Bullhorn, Podbay, Listen Notes, Podcast Addict, Verbalcastro.fm, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Podvine, Podyssey, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, and on YouTube. Episodes, rants, digital market battle specials every week. We are Downtown Sports, and we're sports. Come home.
Shouts to Crystal Large. Shouts to Tony Mainville. It's Beast. It's Mouth. We're out. Big week coming up. Stay tuned.
Also, to end this as well, rest in peace, John Sterling. We will never forget you. And glad the Yankees won tonight for him tonight. Can they bring a World Series in his honor as well? Well, we'll see how that plays out. Jonathan Perriente, Beast of the East, saying goodbye and good night.